Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am so ready for Qigong in action today.
Me too. It's going to be a fun course, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. We welcome you guys. For those who get on here, this will be a video for most people because this is the very first class. And yeah, we have an agenda for how we're going to do. We'll share that with you a little bit, what we're going to go over. Would you mind giving a list of things?
Yeah, so we want to let you know what our purpose is. Our purpose is to help introduce the basic principles for health and well-being through Qigong. And our mission is to bring greater light into this world and bring people closer to their true divine self. Tell your friends, anybody can join at any time. And this month, our topic is the influences of heaven and earth, or the three treasures of heaven. We're going to learn a few exercises pulling down the heavens. We'll review that. If you've already seen that, probably a few of you know what that's all about. You can always take each exercise and go deeper and deeper and deeper. So
I think that's something to remember. This is a basic introductory class. However, it is going to be giving the real full practices that you could take much further, but we just don't have a lot of time in this and once a month. But it will have plenty to help you get your full awareness and well-being as you go. Would you agree with that, Heather?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even in your classes, as a Qigong master, they take so much time on the very basic exercises. That's the basis and the foundation which everything is built off of. And like I said, even the masters practice and go through each layer and deeper and deeper.
That's correct. Even my teachers who have been doing this for 50 plus years, some of them more than 50 years, definitely, they are constantly saying how they just, oh man, I just was able to get that better, or I just refined that a little bit. So at first there's bigger adjustments, so we work on the physical body, and then you start making smaller micro adjustments, and as those micro adjustments happen, then that's where it gets even more. So it can be movement. I think one thing we might mention is Qigong is not just movement. It's the meditations, it's the breath work, it's the dantians, which are energy centers, and the chakras, and the channels in the system, and the organs of the system. And it's our connection and our way of finding our true self inside.
Beautiful. So even as we're doing just one simple movement, like pulling down the heavens, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on internally. There's a lot going on in our mind, visualization, and the breath combined. So that's probably one of the beautiful things about Qigong. Is it involves so many facets. I think that's why maybe it keeps people young. Well, that would the other magic parts, but
that would be a good way to look at it. Yes.
Yeah. So again, we'll practice pulling down the heavens, and we're going to go through part of the 1 through 10 meditation. We'll do 1 through 4. Again, you'll want to do these in chunks. So, and then June, next month we'll talk about visualization and the power of intention. So today our class will go as follows. We'll have a little warm-up. But first we'll talk a little bit about, while we're doing our warm-up, we're going to talk about visualization, our intention, and an affirmation.
All right.
Why would we need visualization? Why would we need intention? And why would we need affirmations? Well, so as we're standing here, our feet are flat on the ground, centered in earth, and we're moving side to side. Our knees are slightly bent. Our tailbone is tucked. Our posture, we're reaching up from our head. We're reaching up into the ceiling, and we're relaxed. So even though you're concentrating on those things, we're relaxed, and we're just moving the chi with our wrists. Or go ahead. I'll let you talk about this.
Okay. So we're using our mind to guide the energy in the body where we need it, and we're going to focus on our wrists first. Just put your mind in loosely, not really tight, but in full range of motion, feel as energy comes up through the legs and down the arms and into the wrists. We always start with warm-ups so that we can be able to have them be in their best way, right? So we don't want to hurt anything, and warm-ups kind of get everything all opened up and nourished. Okay, now your elbows. Now you're going to focus on your elbows, and your hands just stay soft. The biggest thing moving should be your elbows, and your body should still be like there's a ripple coming up and down the body that is just moving through the body. Okay, we go one way and then we go the other way, and now you're filling the elbows with the chi. So the intention is to help the elbows be nourished. You notice the body is loose. Okay, then we go for the shoulders. All right, so this part with the shoulders. And it doesn't just come from the shoulders, it's coming from up through the feet, through the legs, through the spine. Now go the other way.
And so while we're doing this, what would you visualize?
You'd visualize a golden energy from earth rushing up and going into the joints, into the tendons and ligaments. You'd also picture heaven's energy, which is a white light coming down the body, going through the center into the lower dantian, which is from the navel to the perineum. Dantian, again, means the energy center. And then it's rushing up and filling, pumping up into the muscles, the tendons and ligaments that you're dealing with to try to open them up. So now we want to do the neck. Keep the shoulders, the hands relaxed. Some people with this have their hands hanging down. Others will have their hands on their hips as they do this. And focus on the neck. Okay. All right, now as you finish the neck, the next part is we want to loosen up the spine a little bit, and we're going to open it. Pretend like you're picking up a heavy thing, then turn, fingers pointing at each other, and the shoulders are being pulled down with your lats, which are the big muscles down the back. Your thumbs are pointing up to the ceiling, your palms are pointing up to the ceiling, and at the same time, we don't want this happening. We want the shoulders to be down, and you're having you're pushing heaven and earth apart. So you're holding up the heavens. So press. We don't want the arms locked. We want to keep them lightly bent here. Okay, and then turn to your left. We always leave the knees so that we're sitting on a horse. Okay.
I like that visualization.
Yeah. It was called horse stance. Now have the hands come here. One thing I might show is I'm not back here. I'm here with my arms. So I'm at a 45-degree angle. My shoulder blades are still open. Would you mind turning that way, Heather? So with her arms out, she's not locking up here. So lock your shoulder blades back. We're not doing this where she's locking up. She's actually keeping the Mingmen, which is right here about on the opposite side of the belly button. Okay, L2, L3 area. And right here, Shen Dao, the heart, rear gate of the heart chakra open. And then her hands, if you'll turn back straight, are going to press
this way?
Like there's a pillar. She's going to press the pillar. She's going to hold it right there while she's still envisioning the press. And then she's going to turn. And as she turns, the back hand is going to be pushing downward and the top hand is pushing upward. Okay? And she's also getting to where it's stretching and opening up this area and this area on this side over here. Okay? And trying to keep her center point up with pressing upward. And then she's going to come back straight again. And then after that, she goes to the opposite side. From this, you can see the other side of her body here, okay? And her hands pressing up. Then she goes straight again. Notice she's doing excellent with her legs. Again, as if she's standing on a horse.
Don't forget to breathe. Oh yeah, thanks.
All right. And then do the other side again. And then going straight. Now have the arms come down. And the next one, I like to call the little drummer boy.
Go for it.
Okay. So on this one, again, the knees are going to be straight where they're at. And you're going to come and it's from the hips. And you just start going like you're getting the drum going. I better move forward here. Big arms. And I'm just lightly guiding the arms. And it's not my arms doing the work. It's the hips. My backhand is coming up and helping strike the kidneys to loosen up and open and wake up the kidneys. Okay? You do this a few times, and this helps loosen up the spine. And come down. Now we're going to hang from the spine. We're going to allow the lower back to open up, allow all the spine to fall. Do this, fold your arms, tuck underneath, tuck the butt back, and then as you hinge, fall down. Let the elbows become heavy. Allow the spine to completely open. Drop the head. Oh, I had a nice pop. Go a little deeper, feel the elbows getting heavier. Then go to your left. As you go to your left, stretch the right elbow as if you're trying to touch the left heel, but make sure you watch your legs. Keep your legs open like you're still on a horse. And go straight and go a little deeper straight. If you have a hurt spine, be very careful and you're just relaxing. Or communicate with us so that we can make adjustments for you. And go back straight again. Then back to your left. Then straight. To your right. Then straight. Drop your hands. And you're going to sit, and it's like you're pushing up the spine. You're going to let the spine roll itself back up. All right? Now from this helps open and stack the spine so that it's done in a very good way, that we have everything in proper alignment. All right? Now step in. We're going to work a little bit more on the lower back. So in horse stance, you're riding the horse. You're going to start, just isolate the hips and just move the lower back. Open it up. I might ask, why would we want to take so much care of our lower back? Well, everything we do puts that weight of the world and everything on it, right? Also, when you're in a group, I want you guys to watch this. So Heather's going to move with me first. We're going to show with it.
Oh, with.
Okay? So we're going to go this way, and we're going to show moving together when we're moving together. Or now we're going to come and we'll go the other way, and we'll be all mixed up in how we're doing it. So she'll go, and then I'll go, and then she's going to be, it's contrary, and now the energy gets all, it's not in sync. But if we go together, and we're going to go clockwise first, and we go to the left, and lean down, and move, the whole energy of the room begins joining us in this movement. Okay? And that even works if you're distant, if you're somewhere else. All right. Now from here, we need to further open the hips. So we want to stretch the hip joints in through here. So we're going to, this one is hard to get at first, but we lift a hip. And we're doing, so this one comes up, comes forward, then drops down. It is not the knees doing this, it's the hips. Okay? and you feel it open the joints. Then we switch and go the other way. Only go to your comfortable range of motion, but you want to get it to where it's stretching just a little bit or pulling just a little bit, okay? Then pause and solidify your energy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come to the knees. We step in, put the feet together, slide with your hands down to your knees, bend your knees, and keeping the foot flat, turn. You'll go clockwise first, then go counterclockwise. We do this so that it will support the knee and we won't hurt the knees. Okay, now roll up. Now we're going to do the ankle. And you put the foot out and you keep the pad down and you move to the full range of motion that you can on the foot. Then go the other direction with it. Kick it off. Move to the other foot.
All along the way during the exercises,
Switch
you might
directions.
feel something pull a little bit more, or your back that might be a little tighter. So you might want to take a little extra time to
work out the bugs
and work that out. I noticed when I was doing the heels that little parts, or there's some stuck chi down there at the ankle. Obviously, you don't have to stay there till it all works out, but you might want to take some extra time to move it and open it up, visualize that opening up.
Yeah, everybody's a little different, and each day who knows what you were through before. So take time to open it so you don't get injured. This is just called band warming. So we will be reviewing band warming, and hopefully you guys can respond back in the comments during the class and things like that with what you find. All right, so let's get back to some of the other things here and get talking more about that. I'm gonna just move this down just a little bit. All right. All right, so Qigong in action. One of the things we wanted to show was how Qigong is, how can you use it? We were asked the question, how do we take a Qigong and have it to where anybody is getting benefit? Because they go, oh, you're a master, or you do this, or that. Well, everybody has to work on things. So what Heather was saying before was even the masters have to go back and break it down. But Qigong is for everybody. It doesn't matter your level. And it is something that is to be applied in everything in life. There's the movements and things like what you did here was just a warm up. But then there's meditative movement to where you're focusing even more and going into the organs and the systems. There's meditations to where we're going in and doing all sorts of work, even past life regression things. We're working on letting go of the pains that we received that it's time to get rid of and move on. And then there's really just things of growing your awareness, both of what's outside of you, but even more importantly, what's inside of you. Qigong is that journey of really finding yourself. And another thing is it's supposed to be full of wonder and amazement. We got to have a little fun. You got to have some things to bring it in and bring in that joy in life. If you have a teacher who's like this and or angry, you don't want to use that teacher. You want one who is going to be kind and gentle and filled with love with everything you do. Because whatever is in your mind, you're going to be cultivating. So you either cultivate more negative emotions or you cultivate more positive emotions and or productive emotions compared to non-productive emotions, right? Ones that drain us. Right. So it's that process of building the body, changing the body, getting to our highest state of being that helps us truly find ourselves.
That's a perfect segment into posture. So we'll talk about posture a little bit and why we would need to have that posture. And so tell me, I mean, if you're like this, what your body's talking to you
You
all
mean
the
if I'm
time.
sitting like this?
Yep. If we're like this, then we're not attentive or energized or ready. And so, and also the chi doesn't flow in the best way. There are blocks or areas that it could get stuck. If your legs are up here, you're leaning back. There's a little more room for improvement with our
There is.
posture. So notice as we talk about posture, we both sit up just a little bit taller. Our heads are reaching to the ceiling or to the sky, and so we'll talk about posture. So the purpose of posture. We talked about how it can affect our body just a little bit briefly, how it affects our mood, and talk about maybe you can talk about the posture, why we stand in the position that we do for most of our exercises that we're going to talk about.
Okay, so what's called the Wuji posture, the basic standing posture, also in some traditions is called a mountain stance or things like that, is the basic vibrational structure that increases the vibration throughout the whole body. Right. And as you correct it, it slowly works out all the stagnation. It can get rid of scar tissue. It can help with circulation, with your blood flow. It helps your neurological system. It helps with thinking and focusing and recognizing things. It helps with every aspect of the human frame. Everything starts with the feet. Right. And Sifu Chris would always be like, it's all the feet, as you know. And it really is, when you get down to it, that you start with the feet.
Cool. Let's show
it.
The posture.
Okay, I don't think they can see the feet.
They can see the feet.
They can see the feet. They can't see the feet. Okay, so when we're
work on that.
When we're here standing, you'll notice my feet are parallel with each other. They're not in here. They're not in. They're not out. They are parallel with each other. So that parallel stance helps me actually with framing the rest of what I need to do. My knees are not in. My knees are opened up, again, like I'm sitting in a saddle. What this does is it actually helps with the ability to tuck under so that my feet are flat, my knees are above my feet, and I am lightly tucked. If you just lightly pull the stomach in just a little bit down here, like the belly button's pushing towards the spine, it'll help tuck under. We don't want the buttocks tight. If your butt is tight, then you got tight butt. You got to get rid of your tight butt syndrome. You got to have that tucked under and have it to where it's relaxed. Because if the waist is too tight, you won't be able to have energy flow. Tight muscles closes it. And if you're in proper Wuji stance, then you won't be moved. If Heather were to come and push on my hips, right? And if I'm just doing this, okay, see what happens to my knees? But if I'm in proper stance, she can push and I sink in, do a steady push. Okay, I would sink into this leg and I don't even have to use any effort. She can't push it, no matter hard. Go ahead. Okay. The harder she pushes, the more I relax and I'm just there. I don't have to use any strength, and it's not about weight. She could do the same thing to me facing that way. Okay. If she's in that strength in the lower body and she's tucked well, then when I push here, she can relax the hip and keep her body with it, and it will sink right into that leg, and I can really push. And she's like, are you really pushing? And yes, I am really pushing. And that translates and goes down there, and it's because her structure is stacked.
Okay, so, I want to mention a couple of things. So it is wider than the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Feet are wider than the shoulders. It's not this. If you're opening your legs this wide, that's not enough. Maybe let's keep them together. And how many do we do? One. Open your feet, one, and then open them again, two, and then do another one, three, and then another one about four.
With your heels behind your toes.
Heels behind your toes. So, and then a slight bend in the knee. We're not squatting, everybody, and tucking under. Okay. It's just as if somebody came up in the back of your knee and just did the gentle pushed your knee in. So it's just a slight bend. And then
one of the ways, if you lock your legs, unlock your legs.
Gentle. Yeah.
Just a little bit. That's
Cool.
all it is. We're not like some of those.
Nope. Not yet. We can do that later. And then one visualization is for tucking the hips is imagine you've got a bowl. You talked about this
Mm-hmm,
one time.
mm-hmm.
Your bowl of water. We don't want the booty out and the bowl sitting like this. We want to keep the bowl like that, ready to hold the water nice and gently. Okay, and then the next, well, let's bring up one more point of, or two more points of posture, because I know there are 18 rules. We're not covering all 18 rules
We'll
today.
share more rules as the classes go on. But for this right now, it's just important that your spine be elongated. And one way to do that is if you go from the perineum and feel something pulling down, and then a cord pulling from the heavens, pulling you up. It'll help your spine just slightly open. We're not stretching up like this, but if your feet are pressing down, you're sinking downward, and just a light pull up from the center of the head from Bai Hui, pulling up, then you can just relax and stand, and it helps with then relaxing the arms, letting them be heavy, not closing the armpits. Some people stand like this. This is not good, or they lock the shoulder blades back. We're just going to relax the arms and the chest and let them hang. And if you do this, like Heather here, you'll start getting a lot of chi rushing into the hands. It'll just be able to come and rush down. When you stand like this properly, then your balance front and back, left and right, is all stabilized. So we're trying to balance the entire system with this so that we can have that stability and vibration. The body is built up of sound and vibration. We have tuning forks down here, 2 bones of the lower leg, and then a big bone, 2 bones of the forearm, and then a big bone. And these vibrate up through all the structures. But if we're in too much tension, it cannot vibrate. So we're trying to have that vibration come up so that earth energy can ascend and heaven's energy can descend. And as that happens in the system, going up and down, it helps with opening up and releasing and allowing power and stability to come to the body.
Okay, if our viewers wanted to practice something for a whole month and they practiced this posture, what would be the benefits?
Oh, so many benefits, so many benefits.
Tell me.
Let's
Tell me
start with
5.
some.
Okay.
So one of the benefits is if you will work on your structure, and there are things that can come up. You might get your feet sore. They could burn, get hot. If they're hot, that means great, you're connected right. If they hurt, there's stagnation. You need to roll out at the bottom of your foot. If they're too cold, that's just toxins releasing. If there's actual pain, like serious pain, like in your knees or something, then you check your physical structure. If you can't, then get hold of us and we will walk you through it. You need to be on video with us when we do it. Okay, but a benefit, one of the benefits is, well, you'll increase energy because you're using less energy. It will actually help build energy and vibration in the body. Another one is that it can correct postural problems. It will help with having the energy flow better all the time. And if you've had a sore back, you've had other problems similar to that, you'll be able to start working those out because you find the point where you can not use your muscles to hold your body up. If you look, Heather's pretty relaxed here, right? So one of the benefits is she's using a lot less muscle structure. She's not going to have some of the back problems as much as she works on her structure holding properly. So, but it can't be done in tension. Another one is for this is you're going to be reprogramming the way that overall information flows through your body, which increases your digestion, your immune system, and your cognitive ability. So because the mind is just the computer, the whole body is the memory and the brain. So things have to communicate through the whole system. And when you're in a good structure of flow, up the front and up the back, it is actually helps you with thinking and focusing and all those things.
Perfect.
So there's at least 5,
Yeah.
if not more, thrown into it. And there's so much more.
I would add, just maybe give some space and some time to do maybe even a 3-minute, begin with a 3-minute practice.
Yeah.
Just standing. What you might find is space. What you might find is a time to breathe, a time to relax. And when I say space, our lives are set up to not have a lot of space,
Yeah.
to not have stillness, to not to really avoid all of those things. Even just walking, even if you go on a walk, there's so much stimulation around, um, and your mind continues to flow. So I would invite you to practice just this posture for 3 minutes, and then extend as much as you can or as long as you want, to find the stillness and to find some space to just be, simply be, and just breathe. So I don't know. So anyway, okay, posture. We've talked about posture. The purpose of posture: to connect to heaven, earth, and man. Um, the energy flow. We talked about that. To increase our ability to breathe deeper. While you're practicing your Wuji posture, and we'll have to talk a little bit about Wuji another time, but while we're practicing this really basic stance that people practice in China for days and days and days and days and years, and they're like standing masters, um, uh, practice your breath, slow and deep. Find it in the lower dantian, find it up in the head, move it up and down. Breathe through the nose.
I'd probably just start with just focusing breathing down.
Okay.
Because too many times we're so used to only breathing up here. We have what's called Wen-Ho breathing. Wen-Ho breathing is where we all start. And that's growing the energy of the lower dantian. So if you'll breathe down into here first, with that really low breathing, it will help you start sinking. You'll find that how you move your body will change how deep you can breathe.
Okay.
You know?
I love it.
So I think what you're saying is perfect. If you stand every day for a little while and you breathe down into the lower dantian, slow, count, have a little timer, a little dinger that goes 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out. And you just stand and breathe, and you feel that air filling the body. Once you have that, you'll start getting really warm down in the lower dantian, and it will need to turn up the back and down the front. And that's just, it's a basic practice they give to beginning students when they were starting Qigong.
Great.
And the other thing you can do is you breathe in, you can just lightly go forward.
Rock on the feet from the
and
ball
back.
of the foot to the heel of the foot, to the front of the foot, to the heel of the foot. Okay, just so you know, you guys, if you've got a list of things to do, I drink my water, I need to meditate, I need to do this. This is a standing meditation. Finding space is one of the purposes of meditation. And when I talk about space, um, it'll manifest like you're like, well, meditation really doesn't do anything for me. But then if somebody irritates you, you might find space before you react, or you might find space and then not react. You might find the space and then respond versus reacting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what meditation can do for you. So here's one simple standing meditation that practice that you could do, and you'll find all the benefits. I would encourage you to journal about it, to say today was this, and I gained this, and see the progress.
There was another important thing that you really pointed out.
Yeah.
And that was taking time. Just taking time for yourself. That we're in such a busy world in the West. We just go do this, go do this, go do this, go do this. We get to where we don't take time to just let go, to open up, to let things deprogram, if that's what you want to call it, or just get situated properly. And so when you were mentioning that at the beginning of this little part, that's something I'd like to remind you. Take time for you. Take time to let that come in. Take time to just relax and let go. Let the stories play and just tell them, okay, thank you, and let them move out, because the mind will get busy when you're trying to quiet it. It's going to throw up everything. Oh, now they'll listen to this. Now you're going to listen to this. Now. So you just go back and focus on your breath.
Just let it come in,
yeah.
Let it go out. Let it come in, let it go out. Oh, I'm thinking too much about that. Okay, I'll bring it back in. Fill that belly. Okay.
Absolutely. So let's go on.
3 rules of posture connect to the. We talked about that. All right, let's do pulling down the heavens.
Let's do that. Why don't you lead pulling down the heavens there?
Lead it, or I'll just do it and then you talk about it.
We could do that too. Let's do that. Okay, so pulling down the heavens is an exercise that is extremely old. They don't even know the timing of it because it's in all the things as far back as they can find. Pulling down heavens is from the Wuji stance, and your arms relax. We're going to cut the body into 3 sections: the front, the back, and then the center, going right through the center of the body. She's going to be focusing on gathering earth and gathering heavens and allowing that to come wash through the front of the body, then come wash through the back of the body, and then wash through the center. So go ahead, and what she'd do first is her hands would begin sinking, and she'd, with her mind, send her energy down to start gathering earth energy. As she goes down to gather earth energy, it's coming up, and notice her shoulders are not lifting. She's in a good posture, and she's having the arms almost fall. When she gets halfway, she turns the palms upward. She's gathered earth. Now she needs to gather heavens. Then as the hands raise up, she gathers them, and then she lets it fall down. The sound helps open the heart. HA extended helps open the heart and allows the vibration to purge. We use sound to purge with Qigong. That was down her back. Now she's going to go through the center. Again, gathering earth, gathering heavens, going down the middle. All the way down. She's not stopping at her feet. She's going clear past her feet into the ground. And how does that feel, Heather?
Feels really good. It feels great.
And what do you feel when you do it? What is your experience with it?
Well, it's different every time. I guess it depends on where I started. If I'm busy and my mind's going, there's a calming sensation. There's always a calming sensation.
And the front represents everywhere where you're headed. The back represents everywhere you've come from. And the middle is becoming present. So as you do that, you're clearing the front, you're clearing the back, and you're clearing the center so that you can have all things open to you everywhere you are. Not have the burdens of the future, the burdens of the past, just be who you are right here and right now.
Perfect.
And I think it's one of the most beautiful things ever. You know, it's a really nice thing.
Again, our arms are not out to the side. They're not airplane arms. They're soft. There's a slight bend in the elbows. We'll turn a little bit to the right as we come up. And as it starts to get heavy, you can feel the difference between earth and then heaven.
So here's something we've done in a lot of the classes that I was in when I was trying to really figure out how to help teach this, right? And there was a teacher who had us take our hands way up high. Take your hands up high, close your eyes, and start lowering your hands, and stop when you feel where you hit earth energy. There'll start being a little resistance. And you'll feel a little buoyancy in earth energy. And the crazy thing is, in a large room, if people are really sensitive enough, all their hands will be at the same place without looking at each other. They'll feel that same level of vibration, about the same place on each body. And you can, so as we do the practice here, you'll notice that when you come here, the earth will naturally come up. And then here, heavens will naturally fall down. And then you're just guiding it, using the mind constantly to help you with that leading and guiding the qi. The mind leads the qi, and the qi leads the blood or the material. It leads the physical nature. Cool.
Okay, perfect. So visualization with what earth looks like and how big could it be, and what's the color, and what does it feel like to you? What let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay,
because
let's have a seat for a sec.
Visualization is really important.
So visualization is everything in Qigong, right? To everybody, it needs to look what they can visualize. They won't necessarily see it the same way I see it. However, the earth represents all of the different elements, the physical elements. So it has yellow and red and green colored elements, and white and blue and black, right? So these different physical compacted elements. And then the heavens is colors, right? So we're trying to gather those elements up. But when I reach down, I'm going for that golden yellow energy. Sometimes you see it in lava. There's like this gold that you see along with it.
Mm.
It's like that beautiful
You said
shiny.
lava, and because you gave me that visualization a long time ago. So lava, like the orange and stuff, but then there's this like super vibrant
Yeah.
gold,
Yes.
white that goes around the outside of lava. So I invite you to go look up
Yeah.
lava. Go
You'll
find a
mostly see the
picture.
red.
You'll mostly see the red, but you'll see some of those little.
Yeah. That golden white color that's in there is yellow. It's golden yellow, and it's just lively. I was looking for pictures for paint for a 5 element chart that we were building, which is part of what we do. And what we did is we pulled up a lava field from in Hawaii, and I go that color, and we pulled it out, and we made the paint from that. The red in there is our fire element, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's using the natural environment. That's one thing I love about Qigong is they use the environment to describe the energies and the movement of things. So as I go down, I'm picturing the center of the earth. I'm picturing that I'm blending with the center and the spirit of earth. And that as I go down, as I put that energy down, pure energy comes up. So I got to let go of the turbid, give to the earth what's the earth's, and then it will give back to you tenfold of even better, cleaner energy. So we allow all those thoughts, all the emotions, all those are just dumping and washing out of my field. I'm letting go and they're going down in the earth. And in return, I just get this beautiful golden colored elixir that comes up. And it's sometimes almost thick like honey, right? And that's why we turn to the right, because it helps us drop in. If we were on the other side of the equator, we'd need to turn to the left.
Okay.
Or it would feel wrong. You'd be like, I thought he said, what's going on? So we want to turn and
drop in, grab that.
Yes, very much so.
And then the heavens.
Then the heavens on the other side of it. The heavens are, the heavens above are a mixture of all the color, but really together they make this brilliant white, divine white light. And so as you gather earth and then gather heavens, it's like this brilliant white, like almost too bright to look at. Every time you think you've seen it bright enough in your imagination, you go, I wonder if it could be brighter. And then I hold at the top and I let them mix, and then I let them wash down. The heavens is just this pure white that represents all light and life and color, because it's the activating energy. If earth is the nourishing energy, heavens is the activating energy. So we have yin underneath and yang above.
And what about this one in the middle? This person.
That's what makes the magic.
Okay.
Is the earth and heavens, and then man is able to have it. Mankind. That's not being like
mankind.
Humankind. Right? And they fuse together, and that's when you have you might say magic happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Very cool. So when you're cleansing your body, pulling down heavens can be cleansing. It could be energizing. It could be whatever your intention is. As you're cleansing your body, you can cleanse the inner parts of your body, the innermost part of your body. You could cleanse just your chi field, your energetic field, and your spirit body. So sometimes, if my intention is to do all three bodies at the same time, which sometimes it always is, but if I'm focused on that, it can be really, really big. And then everything, my spirit body, my energetic body, and my physical body is getting a beautiful, nice squeegee or a nice sweep, and just moving the things that don't serve me or that don't need to be in my energetic field, physically, spiritually, or mentally, the physical body. Yeah. So pulling down the heavens, teach it to your kids. It can be great for your kids. You can teach it to your grandma. You can teach it to your mom. You can teach it to your coworkers.
Yep.
Up and down, wash it. If you're somebody that sees, let's say you're a teacher and you see different classes each day, begin the class with, and you can change the name. Hey guys, we're going to connect to earth. We're going to connect to the sky. Then we're going to give our bodies a nice energetic shower. And then you won't have moms calling or other people or the teacher, other people wondering what you're doing. But teach that to the kids, calm the kids. And
the sound with even if they can't do anything, it's just
and that movement with the hands. Hey, bring your hands to your head, wash, or move them down the front of your body. So you could teach it there, and then you as a teacher, okay, I'm done with that class. Some of those, I know the teachers that have those classes where they're so happy for those kids to go to the next class. And then if you're a practitioner or you're somebody that works with different people all day long, move the energy off so that you don't have to hold on to those things. If you get in an argument with somebody or anybody, your spouse, your child, whatever, teach the child, hey, we're going to do this.
There's really infinite application for it, regardless of where you're at, what you're doing. It's just a refocusing. It just helps you come back into you and be who you're really meant to be.
And then you'll be shiny and bright, shinier and brighter. And yeah, it's powerful. So give it a try. Again, journal it. Journal about it. It doesn't have to be long, but keep track of it just to see how you're the science of it, the measurement of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So now
really for of everything we're giving you to practice right now, the standing and the pulling down heavens are the most powerful tools for you to start. Some of the other things as we build upon them, they all are based off of those two first. So people a lot of times think, oh, I'll wait till later classes or later things because that's where the magic is. No, we teach the things that build up the magic for you first, because those are the things that make it possible to do everything else and to have it apply more into everything in life. And this is about application in this class.
Right.
So yeah.
Cool. I'm going to check the time. I think right now we're going to move into our meditation. So I don't know if you want to do the 1 through 10 seated, or if you want us to stand and do the 1 through 4.
We're going to do it standing because that's the best way to do it. As you get better at it, you can do it sitting, you can do it lying, but it's just easier to begin with standing. And we're only going to do just a brief thing for it. So
meditation, visualization.
And we will introduce it a little bit.
It's 10:57. We started a little bit later, so we've got, maybe like 5 minutes. So
okay. So I'm just going to mention what we're doing first. We have 1 is fun, and that's a little like pulling down heavens, but you're not going to be doing your hands. Your hands are going to stay down at your side in Wuji stance, and energy will go down the front, the back, the center. Then 2 is shu. We're going to melt from front to back. 3 is tree. Roots will come out the feet, and you'll be growing them, and I'll walk you through that. 4 is core. Energy will come up from the earth, pour up the back, come up the back and down the front, and then just churn in the lower dantian, going up the back and down the front like a big ball, and it's just filling the entire pelvic region. Okay, so let's go ahead and stand.
Okay.
We're going to start with a
pulling down the heavens.
Pulling down heavens. How often do we start with pulling down the heavens?
Every time.
Every time. Okay, so as we sink, close your eyes. Closing the eyes helps you go inward. So have your eyes closed for this meditation and just feel. Just feel with the body. As you feel and connect with the body, sink. Feel the whole foot and sink down into the foot. Okay? Then reach down into the earth. Earth. Gather heavens. for the back. Earth, heavens. Then gather earth, gather heavens. Down the center and out the feet. And just feel your body a little lighter, a little cleaner, still flowing downward. And picture a warm smile above you. You picture this warm smile that gently begins falling down over the front of the head, touching everything, touching from your forehead, your nose, your cheeks, your eyes, your mouth, your chin, then going down over the front of your neck, the front of the shoulders, continuing down the backside of your arms, going over the back of your hands, dripping down into the earth, going down the chest, just bringing a nice warm smile to everything and relaxing it even further, relaxing, going down over the abdomen, over the urogenital area, the front of the legs and the thighs, the front of the knees. It goes over the front of the shins and over the top of the feet and flows down into the earth. Then your attention goes back above you and you see another smile as your eyes inside look upward. And it gently comes down and goes over the back of the head, over the ears, over the nape of the neck, going over the back of the shoulders, the other side of your arm, going down off the palms, relaxing, going down into the earth, dripping off your palms and fingers. Continuing back down the shoulder blades and down the spine, going over the small of the back, going over the buttocks, relaxing the buttocks, over the back of the legs, the back of the calves, over the bottom of the feet, and down into the earth. Then above you, continuing down to the top of the head, to the bones and the brain. A nice warm smile just coming down and calming thoughts, emotions, feelings, cleansing the eyes and the inner ear, the inner sinuses. Make sure you're breathing deep as you're feeling this energy go down through the neck, through the inside of the shoulders with all the bones and muscles and tissues and fluids, the blood, the nerves going down through the arms, past the elbows, through the forearms, the wrist, through the hands, through the fingertips, down into the earth and through the palm, going down through the center of the body, swirling down gently, leaving a smile on everything, and let there be a light smile on your face. There you go, good. Have it come down through the ribs, the lungs, the heart, all the fluids of the chest region, all the little muscles and tendons and ligaments, going down the spine and through all the rest of the organs, the liver and spleen and pancreas and kidneys and stomach, and large intestine, small intestine, the gallbladder, the ureters, the urinary bladder, all the internal organs, as it goes down through the pelvic region and all the internal organs of the lower dantian, down through the buttocks region and through the bones, going down through the knees and the lower leg, through the ankles, through the feet, going off the toes and through the bottom of the feet, down into the earth. As this goes, just let things fall. Let there be a smile in its place and let them cleanse through the body. Then 2 is Shu. From the front of you, begin melting down from the top of the head down to your feet, rapidly melting as if it's going from the front towards the back, all the way around, melting down into the earth. You might feel as if you're getting heavier, but just let it fall down into the earth. All the turbidity, and as it falls down, it goes out like ice on hot pavement that just melts down and then begins sinking down into the soil or the pavement. And then 3 is tree. With it out, you begin growing roots downward out the bottom of the feet, as if first it goes like a spike out the bottom of the feet, about 6 feet, and then out to your front and back and left and right. Roots go out 30 feet in each direction, 36 feet, and more, going deeper and deeper through the center, through the taproot, going down, down, deeper, 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 going past all the layers that are below, even the lava layers, going through everything infinitely down towards the center of the earth. As you hit down, as your visualization goes down deeper and deeper and deeper, this beautiful golden energy starts rushing up for forest core through all the roots, begins coming up. As it comes up, it goes through the feet, the legs, the back, going up over the top of the head, cascading down the front, and goes to the lower dantian. And it begins just churning like it's going down and filling a bowl. Your anal sphincter is lightly closed. It's not to leak things, and you're making sure that you're tucked so that your bowl can hold all the fluid, and it just keeps getting more and more dense. As full as it gets, you make it more and more dense, and you allow it to continue to rotate and fill in the lower dantian. Just let it get more and more full. You're still in 1 is fun. You still feel the nice smiles coming down, pressing downward. 2 is Shu, still melting out in the 360 from all around you down into the earth. And 3 is tree. Your roots are still expanding, getting even more entangled in the earth and going out longer and bigger and more and deep. And more golden energy rushing up, this golden elixir, going up the legs and over the back, all of them happening, getting more and more increasing vibration, deeper and deeper and deeper in the lower dantian. Now you're going to allow this to continue. Stand in this for about 5 minutes a day and just let it build. And keep your mind, if you feel one of the rules go out, then go back and find it and go, okay, I'm not doing one or one of the parts of one, and go back and make it thicker and thicker and more and more. Okay, now we're going to do a different pulling down heavens. This one's without sound, but you're going to gather all the cultivated chi from around, from earth, from heaven, and you're going to pull it down the Taiji pull, which is in the center of the body. Just pull it down the center of the body, guide it down to the lower dantian, and seal it in. Go like you're tying a knot and you're pulling it in and you're sealing it in the lower dantian. Then again, gather earth, gather heavens, pull it down the center of the body and seal in the lower dantian. Then gather one more time, breathing in, then pull down the center core to the lower dantian and tie it like you're tying a knot in the lower dantian. Let it cultivate and turn in the lower dantian, and just stand for another moment and feel. And that concludes where we're going to now. This is part of a longer meditation, but this is the first section. Do this throughout the month with the other things we've been teaching. It's good for a lot of cultivation and building. It will really help you if you take time to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you, class, for being here. And I guess that concludes our first class.
That concludes our first class. Check the Instagram, Elements of Life Institute, for Dr. Hone Health in a Minute. We'll be posting new posts, probably daily, as well as we may drop something else in for the class throughout the month that has to do with the things that we've talked about today. So yeah, go back and check into Kajabi and into the class. So we'll see you next month.
Thank you,
And
guys.
if you have questions, please reach out to us through Instagram or through, you can email us too through
Yes.
Kajabi as your course, in your course.
Yeah.
You have access.
There can be comments
to,
underneath. There's ways of communicating with your instructors.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank you
See
very
you
much.
next time.
See you next time.